Welcome to Potter Familias, coming to you from Fairhope, Alabama.
Remember when your grandfather shared with us the genealogy that we had? And it went back to like some crazy...
The one where you figured out where our last name came from?
No, not the Portuguese side, but I think the French side. Anyway, and I jokingly said, hey, maybe we were on the Mayflower. And he was like, no. But the Puritans have had quite an effect on our country.
Yes, they have. That's one of the main things that we studied in college, where I went to St. Thomas and did their Catholic Studies program. One of the major themes of studying American history through that lens was talking about the theological effect that the Puritans have had on all of Western culture.
Explain.
So one of the things that the Puritans believed was that essentially our bodies are evil and they should be punished. Not that second
like
part.
Because of my sunburn? Or
No.
Like
the desires of the flesh are evil and need to be beaten out of you.
When I get hungry?
Basically, yeah. All the desires of your flesh are...
Time out.
Yeah, that's what they believed.
When I want to eat, that's evil.
If you take their theology to its logical conclusion, that's what they believe.
What about when I want to take a nap? Is that evil?
That's a desire of the flesh.
Yes, it is. And it's an awesome desire of the flesh.
I agree. The Puritans did not think so. But this is what happened.
Wait,
so
what about when I want to breathe?
Okay, well,
that's a desire of the flesh.
So remember, this was the
1600s.
They didn't have the same understanding of what you need to survive, I guess.
What about when I want to go to the bathroom?
You're asking questions that I can't answer. So if you go back and look at the effect that they had on the early settlers when people started to come to the Americas who weren't already here, so the Europeans that were coming to the Americas, one of the things you saw happening was everyone adopted this sense of Puritan morality. And a lot of that came from the fact that many of our founding fathers were Masons and deists, which is just a weird branch of Christianity. Sorry, Masons and deists, who are out there listening, but
and you Puritans.
It's a strange branch of Christianity that agreed in principle with a lot of the morality of the Puritans. And what ended up happening is, this is the crazy effect that it's had on American culture. You ready?
Yeah.
Would you say that in the modern world, the modern age for the United States, that people are fairly immoral?
Yes.
Generally speaking.
Yes.
Okay.
Am I going to get canceled?
No, you're not going to get canceled. Do you know why the immorality that you see in the United States is completely different from what you see in Europe and other places in the world?
How is it different? I've never lived over in Europe.
Because in Europe, from what I understand, this is just from what I've read about people who are much smarter than me who've studied this stuff, they say that the understanding of morality in Europe is lacking. And what that means is there's not a universally agreed upon standard of morality. So people disagree about whether or not it's cool to sleep with someone before you're married to them, or do illegal drugs or whatever. All this stuff there is no basis upon which everyone can agree from a moral perspective.
Right.
Whereas
certain things, I'm sure.
Certain things, yes. Like
no
obviously,
one's going to say it's cool to beat your wife.
Right. Or like it's cool to kill. Like they're not going to do that. Like killing innocent people. Obviously, we know that that's wrong. That's a universal principle, but a universal moral principle. But in the United States, there are universal moral principles still, even in this modern immoral world, that govern people's actions. And the difference between the people that are immoral in the U.S. and the people that are immoral, according to this moral standard, in Europe, is that the people in Europe don't necessarily know it, and the people in the United States definitely know it. They definitely know that what they are doing is immoral. And that completely...
And they're cool with that.
Well, not necessarily. So a lot of people would prefer privacy and anonymity when committing what we would call like moral sins or moral transgressions. And that's not so in other places. So there's this Puritan sense of shame that comes along with doing things that you know are wrong. That's really only a Western thing. And I'm saying Western, not like Western culture as a whole, but just the Western culture that came from the Puritans. It's had this profound effect on the Americas. And
okay, but
the Europeans that came over here.
Is it a good effect?
Well, I don't know, but it's interesting. So people in the United States, generally speaking, if they do something that's wrong, let's say that somebody is having an affair, they know it's wrong. They know what they're doing is shameful, right?
Then
Even
why
if
are they doing it?
Well, hang on a second. So even if they were to come out and like you caught me, I was having an affair or whatever, they still understand that they are supposed to feel shameful.
They're not going to come out and go, "What's the big deal?"
Right. Whereas
hey, you get over it.
In Europe, and
Puritans.
Again, this is a huge generalization. This is obviously not true for everyone, but generally speaking, in Europe, they don't do that. The standards are different.
So wait, so if they get caught having an affair, what's the reaction? I don't get it.
Well, they wouldn't feel like, even if they're caught out and even if it's this big to do or whatever, the person who's doing it would probably be like, I don't understand why this is such a big deal.
Bah. As the Italians say.
I wasn't gonna do that, but yes. Or like, c'est la vie.
C'est la vie. You caught me.
We're definitely getting canceled.
Let
now.
us have some wine.
Oh my god.
You're so canceled.
Yeah, or you started it. You did the Italian thing. You were like, bon ami. Yeah. You know, I was watching, and I don't necessarily agree with everything he says, but I think he's a really cool guy. I was watching part of Michael Knowles' podcast the other day. You know who that is?
No.
The young Catholic guy who works for the Daily Wire. He works with Ben Shapiro, that like super evil guy. You know, he's super evil.
I like a lot of what Ben Shapiro says.
Although he
talks too fast.
He talks very fast. It's hard to understand him.
Down.
He sounds like
slow down.
This is something that I would tell him in person, so I'm comfortable saying this on the show. He reminds me of that annoying kid in high school who was smarter than everyone and knew it. And he's also like a super fast talking Jew. Like if he wanted to start a rap career, like he'd be really good at it. If you could get over listening to annoying rapping. Sorry,
you know
Ben.
how some people listen to podcasts at 1.5 times?
That sounded so much more brutal out loud than it did in my head.
Yeah, you're canceled.
I'm so sorry.
They listen to podcasts at 1.5 times the audio?
Yes.
And just so that they can get the content?
I can't do that.
Well, with Ben, I want to do it at like 3/4 time.
Yeah, and just actually hear what he's saying.
Slow it down, baby. Slow it down.
He definitely speaks very fast. But anyway, all this to say, Michael Knowles. Wait, what was I talking about?
I don't know.
He was saying, shoot, I do not remember.
About being smart or something? No.
Did it have to do with Puritanism? I completely lost my train of thought.
You're not old enough to like blank like me.
I just turned 29.
Yeah, that's not old enough to blank like me.
Anyway, this is Potter Familias.
All right, so then what are we supposed to do with this reality?
Okay, so this is actually a hopeful thing in my opinion, because there is almost this built-in, whether or not it's incorrect, there's this built-in understanding of morality that everyone seems to have in American Western culture that's not present elsewhere. So for better or for worse, we're hanging on to these sort of outdated moral ideas. And I only say outdated in the cultural sense. So they're hanging on to these outdated moral ideas, and they seem to be pretty universal, even among people my age. So we are in the South. That does change perspectives a little bit. I don't know what it's like in New York. I don't know what it's like in the very left-leaning parts of California. I'm not sure. But from what I can see, I don't have to explain to any friends of mine why the things that they're doing that I think are wrong are wrong. They understand that they're wrong. They just have justifications for it. Whereas from what I've heard from people that have lived in parts of Europe, it doesn't seem like you need a justification to do the same things.
Gotcha.
They wouldn't justify it. They would say like, yeah, it's wrong, but you know. You see, you're doing it again. We're canceled.
Sorry, I love that. I love that expression.
Mon ami. You know, we have French in our blood, so it's okay.
All right.
We have French blood.
So, in conclusion.
So I think that there's something to be said for at least American Western culture and hope for a moral renaissance within the culture, because I think that
I like
that's
that term.
a moral renaissance.
Yeah, I like that.
Because I think that's a sign that's present in our history, both culturally and religiously, that there are certain things that we just won't be able to let go of, no matter how many generations go by. There are certain moral understandings that will always be present in American culture, for better or for worse.
There you go.
And so people have used that as a marketing tactic in the past to try and sell things, and it wouldn't work in Europe. It's not the same.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Now the question is, do you have a song that kind of goes along with this theme then? What you got?
Well, surprisingly, yes, I do.
Come on.
Yeah,
I was joking.
I
was totally joking.
Well, I didn't think about it until you said that, if that makes you feel any better.
You're welcome.
But
that's what I'm here for.
I have not played this in so long. Let's see.
You going to remember what key it's in?
I have the key written down.
Oh.
I was prepared.
Smack down.
I was kind of prepared.
Smack down.
This is called Rhythm of the Night, and this is an old one. I wrote this a while ago, like years ago. Goes like this. Tonight I'm trying to think straight. Don't wanna wreck myself, 'cause I love it. Oh yeah, tonight I'm trying to walk away and save myself from the rhythm of the night. Temptation staring down at me from the shelf up on the wall. Flashing lights of neon seem to beckon me and call. The people all clap their hands like the game has just begun. There is no third option, I can stay or turn and run. Tonight, I'm trying to think straight. I don't wanna wreck myself, 'cause I love it. Oh yeah, tonight I'm trying to walk away and save myself from the rhythm of the night. The ghosts of who I used to be are still here in the bar. They're trying to take hold of me, come in with open arms. And now my heart is racing to the beat of every song. I thought that I could be here, but it looks like I was wrong. Tonight, I'm trying to think straight. Don't wanna wreck myself, 'cause I love it. Yeah, yeah, tonight. Oh, I'm trying to walk away and save myself from the rhythm of the night. Now the quiet voices that rise up inside my soul softly rage against the side of me so animal, reminding me of what I learned to hate so long ago. The devil is strong, but I am stronger. It's time for me to go. Tonight, I'm trying to think straight. Don't wanna wreck myself, 'cause I love it. Oh, tonight, I'm trying to walk away and save myself from the rhythm. Oh, tonight, I'm trying to walk away and save myself from the rhythm of the night.
I remember when you played that one.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Good stuff. Thanks so much for listening to Potter Familias.
Sorry, what was that?
Thanks so much for listening to Potter Familias. You punk.
Thank you, guys. We'll see y'all next time.
I will cut you.
Oh, okay. We're double canceled.